So here we are, the main entrance to the Longwood Gardens in Kennett Square, Pennsylvania. Here's Chad, super excited to be here. It's winter, it's March. The hours here are Wednesday through Monday. They're closed on Tuesdays. Admission for adults is $25, kids $13, for and under free. They do have senior citizen discounts as well as military discounts too. And it's pretty cold today, gloomy, so we're gonna just stick to the conservatory and the garden shop. It is our first time here, but it looks like there's plenty of walking paths. This is a very large piece of land. It's 1,077 acres. Pierre S. Dubont first laid his first garden in 1906, and later on in like 1950s opened it up to the public. If you decide to come here during winter, this little large conservatory area, which has I don't know, maybe like a 10 separate garden rooms. It is nice and warm. It's got a nice ventilation system that just pumps warm air in, so you can visit this part of the gardens all year round and not have to worry about getting wet, snowed on, or just freeze your butt off. There are so many plants in this place, and I hear that they change out the arrangements a lot. So you see tulips here, and in 2 weeks they might have roses. They're always changing the plants out. I'm sure there are a couple plants in here that have been here for years. In fact, I know that there are, but like the flowers and stuff just on the sidewalks right here, they are said to change them out constantly. So it's nice. You can come here, once a month and probably see a new arrangement every time. Okay, so I'm looking at the conservatory map right now, and there's not too many separate garden areas. It seems like there are, but there's probably about 6 separate little garden areas in the conservatory that you can go to. One of my favorites was actually the indoor children's garden, which we'll show you towards the end here. Another helpful tip for your trip: if you come on a weekend, like we did on a Sunday, even though it's winter and we didn't think there were going to be a lot of people at the gardens, there were a ton of people here. And some of the footpaths in some of these smaller garden areas are very narrow. I mean, if you've got 6 people in, I think it's the Silver Garden area, then it's really packed and hard to get, by. So I would suggest going on a weekday. I think next time we come, we're going to try to come on a Monday or a Thursday when hopefully it won't be so busy. But yeah, we found there were a lot of people here on the weekend, on Sunday anyways. And this little area right here, I guess DuPont put a marble floor in, probably. And sometimes I've seen on other videos it's covered in water, which makes it look really pretty, but you can't walk on it, probably because it's so soft. Interesting, nonetheless. This is a really neat little passageway that you walk through to get to the orchid house. This is the Acacia Passage, and everything was in bloom in here. It was so beautiful and it smelled so good. There's little benches every few feet that you can sit at and just absorb all the green energy that you want. But yes, now we're in the orchid house, which was amazing. You've got all sorts of different types of orchids and ferns just hanging out on the wall. These are the wallflowers. But if you like orchids, definitely visit this room because there are a ton of orchids here. They do tours as well, so this is right here's a little group that's on tour, person giving information. And this right here is the silver garden, which is full of cacti and succulents and plants that are silvery too, like olive trees and those frost plants, snake plants. And there's a massive agave plant over here as well. Now this little area was my favorite. I think it was Chad's favorite too. It's the indoor children's garden area. This little thing rings this flower bell up top, which is just fun. Cool little thing. And this had a lot of interactive fountains and things for the kids to play on and with, which is really neat, you know, makes gardens, plants fun for kids. And as you can see, there are a ton of children in this area. And again, it's a Sunday, so, you know, got a lot of people enjoying their Sundays with their families here, which is nice. But there's such interesting features. I mean, there's dragons and phoenixes, cool little stairwells to walk up and little like doorways to go through, little leaping ponds. I saw a couple kids running around here just soaking wet. A lot of really neat fountains, very creative sculptures. It's just a really nice little spot to sit and imagine, be inspired in. It's one of those little doorways that I was telling you about earlier. Look at this fountain. Oh my goodness. I don't know who the artist is. I'm sure there's a plaque or something that tells you. Oh, and look at this. Underneath one of the stairwells, you can pretend like you're a little sorcerer or wizard and cast a spell. Walking up to the upper balcony in the children's garden where we will find more fountains. This was so much fun. If you have kids, definitely check out the indoor children's garden area in the conservatory at Longwood Gardens. They'll probably, be entertained for hours. Now, this right here is the shop, the garden shop that's inside, right across from the first set of public restrooms and the information ticket desk. Oh, and then if you get hungry afterwards, this little Colombian restaurant called Junction. It is right down the road from the conservatory, and that's where we stopped to have lunch. It was delicious, and there are a ton of antique shops around here as well. So if you want to make a day of it, there's plenty to do here. Thanks for watching.